Have you ever walked into a room like Zoom or boardroom and felt like you had to make yourself smaller? Like before you even speak, you shrink your tone, adjust your words, and apologize for simply being in the room. Now, here's the next layer. Have you ever undercharged, discounted your rates before someone even asked? Felt bad for sending a payment reminder, then this video is for you. Because if you want to grow in voice, in presence, in income, we have to start showing up differently. So, since starting my executive MBA studies, right, I have noticed something very interesting. In our global cohort, some of the people really own their space. They speak with clarity, they ask bold questions, and they take up time and space unapologetically. And then there are those of us who hesitate, who second guess, who soften our tones, not just in the class, but in every part of our life. And yes, this includes money conversations. And it really made me reflect as to why do some people walk in the room like they already belong, while others feel the need to apologize for simply showing up. And I realized that a lot of it is conditioning, especially for women, especially in business, and especially around money. We've been taught to be grateful for any opportunity, to prove ourselves, to justify ourselves, to not be too much. But inclusion is not the goal anymore. Financial power is, voice is, ownership is. We apologize before asking for payment. We underprice when we don't want to seem greedy. We apologize for setting our rates. We apologize for enforcing boundaries. We apologize for wanting more. So let me say this very clearly. Wanting more is not selfish, it is not greedy. Charging your worth is not arrogance. Creating wealth is not shameful. Shrinking does not make you more likable, it makes your business less sustainable. I remember receiving a message from someone about a late payment, right? And in the past, I would have softened everything. I would have said, I'm sorry to follow up again. Hope I'm not being a bother. Totally understand if times are tough. But this time, I didn't. I responded with professionalism, with firmness, and with no apology. And guess what? The payment came through. There was no drama, there was no guilt, there was no need to make myself smaller. When you respect your voice, when you respect your work, when you respect your time, then others follow suit. So, how do we start owning our space and our value? Right? How do we start owning that financial power? So, here are some things that have worked for me and that will work for you. I'm going to share the PowerPoint presentation now with you and we're going to go through it together. So the first thing is to audit your language. Notice the just checking and sorry patterns, especially in emails, in quotes, and in invoices. Replace that with very clear professional language, no fluff and no guilt. The second thing is to anchor into your purpose. So when you remember why you do what you do, which is and who you serve and how you serve, then you speak with more clarity and yes, you will charge more confidently too. Number three is set boundaries and communicate them. So these are things like your office hours, your payment terms, your consultation policies. They are not rude, it is structure, and structure supports sustainability. The fourth thing is to practice saying hard things. So start practicing saying things like, no, I don't offer discounts. My time is fully booked this week. This is the payment deadline. Say it, practice it, let it feel strong when you saying it out loud. The fifth thing is breathe through the discomfort. So you are going to feel nervous, right? And that's okay. But your future depends on your ability to sit in the discomfort and still choose to be in alignment with yourself over the approval of others. I also want you to journal on your money voice, right? Let's just move over to that side. So, where do journal on these prompts, which are things like where do I feel guilt when I'm talking about money, right? Some people obviously have spouses, they feel guilty as a woman to speak about how much they earn. If they earn more than their husband, they don't want to make their husband feel less than, or, you know, they don't want to come across as bragging when they discuss money or whatever it is. So, where do you feel guilt when you are talking about money? The second journal prompt is what beliefs around pricing or earning do I need to unlearn? One of those very common ones for me was that before I price high or before I earn more, I need to prove myself. I need to prove my worth. I need to prove that I can get this job done before I start charging somebody for it, right? The other journal prompt is how does shrinking financially show up in my daily decisions? So, how does shrinking financially show up in my daily decisions? Okay, then let's move along to our next slide. Okay, so now I'm just going to give you a little bit of speaking tips, and I think this will help you going forward. The first one is learn to pause and not rush. Speak slower when you are discussing your value. Own your words. Rushing signals anxiety, but presence signals power. I don't want you to just remember this in your pricing decisions. I want you to remember this every time you speak, right? Speak slower. Speak more audibly. The next thing is say, I told you I'm going to leave you with a sprinkle of goodness. So here's what I want you to know. Your voice, your value, your vision, they are divinely assigned. You are not here to be quiet and to be broke. You are not here to hustle endlessly for scraps. You are here to lead, to build, to receive. And when you take up that space, not just physically, but also financially, you start to give others the permission to rise too. Wealth is not about greed, it is more about impact, it's about freedom, and it's about dignity. So, to the woman watching this who is tired of shrinking her worth, second guessing her pricing, and saying sorry for simply existing, this is your reminder. You are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to charge your worth. You do not need to apologize for valuing your time, your gift, or your voice. And if this message spoke to you, drop a comment below. Where are you reclaiming your space and your financial power this year? And if you want more videos on business, on money, on mindset, subscribe, follow me, and share this with a sister who needs to hear it. Because empowered women empower economies. Until next time, bye.